Hey YouTube, this is John Purple One. Welcome to Boots on the Ground and News You Should Know. I'm going to start out with small business of the day, and that's the author of this book, Pace Planning, Your Guide to Emergency Preparedness and Bug Out Strategies. Jesse wrote it. He's also the CEO of the Survival Summit. So I'll put a link to this and to his site. So go show him some love and some support. Let's get right into some news. 4 Federal Emergency Management Agency employees, and these are some top-level people, were fired after sending millions of dollars to a New York City hotel, and this is used to house illegal immigrants. So this has been going on, but they were ordered not to do this anymore, and they followed through and did it. I was told that some of these rates were double what they would normally charge an individual who just walked in there trying to book a hotel room. So definitely, where did this extra money go to? Robert Murdoch, he's a very wealthy man, and he has many companies. One of his companies is called Realtor.com, and he is moving this company out of California. He's moving it to Austin, Texas, and the reason is the high taxation rate in California, a lot of hurdles you have to jump through if you have a business in California. We're seeing a huge push of businesses leaving California, and rightfully so. January U.S. retail sales tumbled a lot. And it was really down. 9 of the 13 categories that they look at was in decline. Now, there could be a reason why, but we'll have to wait for another month or two. And this was because of the wildfires in the Los Angeles area, and also a lot of severe storms during this time that kept people from going out and spending money. Housing supply is rising, and this is because people are not buying with the high rates of mortgage rates at an 8-month high. It's just killing people trying to be able to afford housing. Let's back up 4 years to December of 2024. The typical mortgage payment in America was $896. $896. Excuse me, that was December of 2019. Fast forward to December of 2024, $1,844. So it went from less than $900 to $1,844. That's the main reason why people are hurting, just trying to find housing and pay for things. There was a school board meeting, and this occurred in Penfield Central School, and this is in Rochester, New York. And parents were there to voice their displeasure in a public school book that the kids are supposed to read. And this is a book about a young girl attending a pride parade. They have lesbian parents, and I'm not even going to go read anymore because it was utterly disgusting what's covered in this book. So parents were upset at the school district, and the school district, instead of hearing their complaints, they just write them down, and they walked out of the meeting. That's one reason why very recently my son removed his 2 children from public school, and this is a very small country public school, because of a book that was in a classroom that was utterly disgusting. CPI, that was seasonally adjusted up again, and the core CPI is running about 0.4%. So this is definitely higher, and this is definitely inflationary. Also, the producer price index, and the producer price index is what producers get for their goods and services, and that was also up. So we're seeing inflation from the producers. We're seeing it at the CPI level, the core levels. Definitely inflation is going up. The executive director of a school body that handles high school sports in the state of Maine said that they will still let students pick their gender, and if they pick their gender, they can play for that sports team, either be it for the females or the males. So a lot of problems there. So a lot of states need to go back to what you were born, not what you identify as, because it's not fair to females to have to go against biological males in sports, because this means scholarships, this means state records that are being broken by biological males competing with the females. Waste Management, huge company. They're reducing again. They're going to be dropping about 5,000 jobs, and they're trying to get rid of physical laborers and go with more machinery to do this job. Trump has given federal workers the ability to go ahead and retire, or at least to get a severance package. A lot of people took him up on that, but he also just laid off or fired 200,000 workers. And these were probationary workers, and a probationary worker is a worker that might have worked less than 2 years for the federal government, so they're still in that probationary period. You've probably heard about the aircraft carrier, Harry Truman. I think that's a nuclear-powered carrier, and it collided with a cargo ship. It did do some damage to it. This was near the Suez Canal. At first I said a bunch of idiots, how that happened, but I'm still not sure how it happened, but it was in an area where they're very, very close, with a lot of moving parts near the Suez Canal, but still totally uncalled for. Cuba has closed schools, and they've really told non-essential workers don't go to work, and this is because of their power problem. They're having more power problems. Only 6 of the 15 oil-fired power plants are operational, so they can't even keep power to their people. This person sent me a sign that was posted at Kroger, and this would be in Middlesburg, Kentucky. Bath tissue and paper towels are being limited. Have you seen that in your area? If you've seen it, put it in the comment section. I thought that was just because of the COVID time, but I guess maybe there's a shortage somewhere. We know there's a shortage in eggs, and people are just saying the prices are outrageous in their area. President Donald Trump called President Putin of Russia, and that's a good thing. The Europeans and Ukraine found out about it, and they're like, no, you can't negotiate without Ukraine, without us. But I think it's a good thing anytime peace is being discussed. And eventually, yes, the European representatives and Ukraine and Russia and the U.S. and probably other leading countries will sit down and try to get a peace plan in place. President Trump just signed an executive order halting all federal funds going to schools if they mandate a COVID shot. So that's a pretty big news. Also, with Elon Musk just going through all of the books for the federal government, he's finding a lot of waste and fraud and outright corruption. Major Democratic donors are getting contracts. They're then turning around and donating more money to the Democratic Party. And it's just funneling money from taxpayers to organizations, back to politicians, and everyone getting their cut except the American people. A few examples of the waste and abuse they found. And this was on the White House website. $1.5 million to advance diversity, equity, inclusion in Siberia's workplace and business community. $700,000 for the production of a DEI musical in Ireland. $2.5 million for electrical vehicles in Vietnam. $47,000 for transgender opera in Colombia. $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. $2 million for sex changes and LGBT activities in Guatemala. $6 million to fund tourism in Egypt. The list goes on and on and on. These were just little amounts. There's large amounts of money that is being taken and used wrongly around the world. So, I've not put a lot of videos out, but as you can see, I'm busy, I'm working, I'm trying to get things done. I hope you're busy and working. Thanks for watching.